Hello everyone, and welcome back to Oakfield Farm, where the fence finally got finished. It took him long enough, but he finally got finished. We're going to send him straight back out with a plough again and get him on with another field. This time it's a bit of a smaller field. I think it's a smaller field, but we do have the fun of driving to it. We have to drive around a neighbouring field to get into it, which is a bit different. And what we need to do is we also need to fertilise field 12 today and start the cultivating process. Oh dear, brakes didn't do us very well there. So what we need to do is we actually need to go through this field here. I've already double checked that this is the right way, so you may see some tyre marks on the ground. But as far as I can tell, this is the right way into the field. Our field is just up here past that hedge you see. Field 42. Now let's start the unfolding process. Not a very big field. We need to let it do its thing, and then we need to fix its thing. So this is the field in question. So what I'm going to do this time, I made a mistake last time of doing the headland around the edge of the field. This time I'm going to square the field off to the best of my ability. Now I want this field finished today and another field done, which is because we have almost all the fields to plough. So we don't need to get them done. The hired workers are not the quickest bunch in the world, but ploughing is of course not the quickest job in the world either. So we need to try and line ourselves up with the corner of the field over there. I'd like to go corner to corner. I'll go around the headland twice like I did before, and I'll fill in the patches. This field doesn't feel as big. It may be, but it doesn't feel it. It looks like there's something in the middle of the field there that we'll have to either plough over or plough around. But as you can see, we are going to have some extra headland to do. But that's just the way it is. There's another entrance there into field 47. Looks like a nice small field. We may buy that one at some point. How straight am I going? Not very. It looks like there's a pole in the middle of the field. That may cause us problems if there's collisions on it. But I'll get this done, and you guys can join me again in just a minute once we've got the hired worker on the go. We'll just go straight back to the farm, so you'll join us back at the farm, and hopefully the hired worker is able to actually get on with things. But I'll see you guys in just a second. I figured I'd just start straight on with a time lapse on that one. So hopefully you enjoyed that time lapse. But that's all the spraying we need to do for now. We don't have an awful lot of fertilizer left in this, and because it's going to be sold, we are just going to leave it out to an extent. Just going to put it here. Just kind of out the way a little bit. That's all the fertilizing we are going to do today. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get straight onto this cultivator, like so. And head back over to that field. Until the fields are ploughed we can't cultivate them, but we are going to cultivate all the fields that we plough, which is hopefully going to be all of them. We have until the 5th day of spring. Once we hit the 5th day of spring, we need to stop ploughing. If we haven't got all the fields ploughed by then we're just going to have to make that sacrifice with a little bit of production loss. But after that point, there is no way we can plough, because we need to then focus on getting some crop in the ground. But we are going to get our very first bit of seeding done today. What we're going to do is we are going to start this field as we usually do the headlands, but this machine is quick, relatively speaking. I don't know how it will do on the hills, but it's 10 mile an hour it goes, so it's quite quick. So we are going to leave a hired worker on the case to do that, and we ourselves are going to be planting some seed using the Mercedes MB track. We'll be planting that in, I think it's field 10, this small field there. We'll be planting grass in that field. But we'll get the headlands done on this field so that the hired worker doesn't completely freak out. We will need to turn off AI vehicle extension as well, because we know it doesn't work in this field. Looks like we've got a problem with one of our wheels. We're dragging a wheel. At 14 mile an hour it goes downhill. That's pretty quick for a cultivator with a dodgy wheel. What I'll do is I'll change the wheel type to the other one, because there is an option of wheels. I'll change it to the other one, see if that fixes it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as is, because we do need to crack on. We're already on the 2nd day of spring, and we have no arable crops in the ground whatsoever. So that's a problem. We are going to do quite a bit of arable. We've got the big combine, which we're paying for. We're paying vehicle maintenance on it, and it's not being used. So it looks like the fence is doing alright. I didn't do all of the headland. I only did around 3 sides of the field, and then just got the hired worker going straight from that, just to save a bit of time. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me on that one. But I do like this cultivator. I'd recommend this cultivator. Also recommend maybe a better driver than me. But it doesn't take much in the way of pulling power either. Not sure why that wheel's not working. Like I said, I'll change the wheels on it, see if that fixes it. If not, we'll just maybe live with it, to be honest, because I like the cultivator that much. I'd be willing to put up with a bug with it. I mean, we could almost do this field ourselves, to be honest. We will be doing some cultivating ourselves, so we're not going to hire everything out. But field 10 that we're seeing today, that's already been cultivated. It was cultivated previously, and because it's just grass we're putting in it, I'm not worried about ploughing it. We will plough our fields after the third cut. We'll plough our grass fields after the third cut. But for this first year, I'm happy just to keep them as they are. I don't expect it's going to take the hired worker very long to do this. I'd be surprised if it takes them very long, should I say. A couple of bits there that were missed for whatever reason. Or is that maybe just fertilizer poking through? I'm not sure. I'm not worried about doing two full width headlands either. It is just to keep the hired workers out the hedge, if you will. And we will just kind of let them get on with it. But we're not going to do the field lengthways this time, we are going to do it width. Because I think that would be better given the shape of the field. Not the quickest way to do it, lengthways is always quicker, but we'll go against the furrows to cultivate. Which some of you may shout at me for in the comments, but like I said, just for the hired worker, we'll get them to do it. But like I said, it shouldn't take them very long to do this at all. I mean, I've done 2 headlands and that's already a lot of the field done. The fen is still ploughing away, which is good. But this field needs to be cultivated, ready for seed tomorrow. And the cultivator will be very busy tomorrow. Hopefully the plough gets more than one field done today. Let's just start this on hopefully a nice straight line. There will be missed bits, I'm okay with that. This is the line I want them to take. Oh, still got vehicle. Let's turn them off. Sack them. Not quite the angle I wanted, but providing they get right to the very end there, which they should, I'll be happy with that. So we'll leave them to it. Oops. How is the hired worker doing here anyway? That's not bad. But this is the one we want. The lovely MB track. In fact, I think I can fold up that. Pretty sure I can fold this up. It's moving them inwards. Maybe I do it from the inside. Yep, we do it from the inside. See, they fold up. Now let's go and get our seeder. I do like the MB track. This has got to be one of my all-time favourite tractors. It's not the quickest thing in the world, but it is a very, very nice tractor. Not sure if we've got enough space to get around there. We'll fill it up with seed. It doesn't take massive amounts. We don't want wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, grass, that's what we want. Let's get rid of that helper window, we don't need that, that's in the way. This is a trailered seeder. This is not how you seed the fields this way. This is just how you transport it, because it's way too wide to be on the road. What we'll do is we'll head down to our field, get it unfolded, get things started. I mean, even at this length, it's still quite difficult to drive along the road. It's quite a long trailer. It's a noisy tractor. Well, that's not a good sign. The hills we have to go over in the field are just as steep as this. Apparently we have 3 sets of hazards on as well. Which is odd. So how's our hired worker getting on there? Making a royal mess of that field. More of a mess than we made. So 2 hired workers is going to be our limit, so we do have to do this field ourselves, but I will put it on a time lapse. Like I said, I want these episodes to be around the half-hour mark. We've already had 1 time lapse in this episode, so we are going to have another one as well. It's just the way of it, I'm afraid. We do still have field 15 to look at, but we probably won't have time to do that today. Now, getting into this field with this seeder is definitely going to be interesting. It's finding every pothole on the road to bounce over. A front loader and a seeder to try and get through here. We'll take it up to the top of the field. The sound of that engine, that is something else. Right, let's detach it here. We will move the MB track because obviously we'll seed from the side. This is the cool bit. Now I do need the helper window open to let me know when we're stood at exactly the right part. That's not it. This bit's a bit fiddly. What I'll do is I'll get this unfolded completely and start on with the time lapse. So see you guys in just a minute. hopefully you enjoyed that little time lapse there. We finished roughly at the same time as the case did. So I don't even know how much seed we have left because I didn't have the HUD on, so, and I wasn't watching the glance mod. I've got loads left. I did go back after the time lapse there and get most of the missed bits. I also forgot to close the gate behind me. We will leave it open again because this field will need sprayed. We've thoroughly made a mess of the cedar. Very, very tight field to get out of. Climbing over a mountain by the looks of it. So in this next field that we have, we are going to plant barley. We're going to plant barley in field 12, but we're not going to be doing that today. So we are quite late in the day. We have to tidy up after the cultivator, and it wouldn't be bad to spray field... It's field 9, not field 10. It wouldn't be bad to spray field 9. I'd be quite happy because then that would be that field finished in my book. All we'd have to do is weed it as soon as the grass starts to grow, which should actually be tomorrow. The grass should start growing. So we could weed field 9 and field 15 at the same time. Well, on the same day. Well, I got that wrong. What we're going to do is we're just going to park this up here for now. It will go back down to the farm. But how are we looking over here? Things are looking very, very good actually. Surprisingly good. This is the one we want. So we will just finish this field ourselves. It's left quite a lot for us to do though. But it will only take us just a few minutes, to be fair. This is a very, very quick cultivator. This field will need sprayed before it's seeded as well, and again it will need some kind of fertilisation after the fact as well, just to give us that full bonus, 90% bonus on crop. And also we will be, like I said, doing barley in this field, which means we will also be getting straw from it, which will provide us bales that we will be selling. We'll sell most of the bales, if not all. Probably not all actually. But then again, we will more than likely be putting in a straw-based crop in another field as well, so we'll just see how we get on with that. We don't have an auto-stacking trailer, but that's okay. I don't really like the auto-stacking trailers. We might get one in the future. Now, as far as cultivating goes, it doesn't need to be perfect because we can seed over plough. We can seed straight onto the furrows, but it would still be nice to see the field nice and clear. It looks like the plough is not going to get into another field today though, which is quite unfortunate. I guess we're just going to have to start earlier in the next episode. We won't bring the Fent back to the farm. And what we'll do is we'll hire workers straight away in the next field and have somebody work overnight ploughing another field just to make sure that we have a chance to get them all done, because we do still have the big field to do. It's field 13, one across from this one. That is a ridiculously big field to plough. It takes forever. And I'd like to have 2 days, ideally, to plough that field. And it is going to take a bit of input from us as well. That field will not get done by a hired worker all by itself because there's a big island in the middle of it. But not to worry about that. We'll deal with that when the time comes. I don't mind if we're a day late for planting, as long as it is only a day and it's the right plant that we're doing. The right crop, should I say. This is a ridiculously fast cultivator. Looks like both our wheels are jammed up at this point. Which may actually be the way it's supposed to be. Don't know, but I'd assume that it's supposed to be that way, so the wheels wouldn't in effect be touching the ground. So everything down this side of the field is fine, so we just have to go back this way. Get that little bit there I've missed. And go down the wonky side of the field. Yeah, the wheels don't touch the ground, that's why they're not rolling, so we don't have to change the wheels. Just a bonus, it saves us a little bit of money. I think we'll use the MB on the sprayer. I think that's what we'll do. Got a little bit down the bottom here, that is all messy as well. Another one of those weird like lines through the field there. I don't know what that's all about. Not sure if that's plough texture or a little bit of fertilizer sticking through. It looks like fertilizer. This tractor's already got almost 2 working hours on it, which is just insane. What we'll do is we'll set this up on follow me. We'll get the engine started in this for a start. And we'll get them to follow us. Both trailers are roughly as long as each other, so if we can make it back to the farm, in theory so should they. Not that I can actually see them. They are following us though. You can see them on the mini-map. We'll get some spraying done. I think that will about do it for today once the field 9 is sprayed. But as per usual, what we'll do is we'll go over to the case. And we'll park it up over here. We do have access to that shed there, but we don't need it. The case is badly needing a wash. As for the seeder, we're going to put the seeder over here for now. And the idea of reversing in cab is not one that appeals to me. There's the seeder dropped off in there. Now, I think the sprayer's over here. Yeah, sprayer's over here. That was terrible lining up. Let's try that one again. That's not much better, to be honest. Right, so this is obviously empty, so there's going to be a bit more money spent filling this one up. Now, this is not the biggest sprayer in the world, but it's big enough. 26 meters or something like that. I think. Might be smaller than that, maybe 12 meters. We'll find out. It's plenty big, though. Let's go through the cow field up to field 10. Because that is the other way we can go. And it's not a way we've been. Have a couple of gates to open on the way, mind you, but... Field 9. I'm not sure if I said field 10 again there, but it's field 9 we're going to. I am going to get an automatic egg collector, so that that collector eggs thing is not on the screen all the time. To get rid of it I have to go all the way through a whole list of menus and things. It's not much fun. So you can stay there for now, but in the next episode I will I'll get the egg collector. Oh, we're struggling up this hill. But to be fair, it is a hill and a half. Let's get this gate open too. I don't think there's one on the other side. Might be wrong on that, but I don't think there's one there. So as you can see, the grass isn't coming through yet. Now, I'm not going to time lapse this part because there's already been 2. And this will hopefully not take very long at all. Nice wide spread on it. Should only be maybe 5 passes roughly. Again, what we'll do is we will spray field 12. Probably tomorrow we'll get that done. What we'll do is, because we've not really done much of it, we may get a hired worker to spray field 12 while we're ploughing or cultivating. I'm not 100% sure which one we'll do yet, but we'll do one or the other. I'm not sure if that gate's going to be in the way. We should probably close that gate now, because we're effectively done with this field once this is done. So I will close that gate. We do still have to weed it, but not until the grass starts coming through. I think the sprayer's actually going to hit it. And I've left the sprayer on as well. That's going to be costing us quite a bit. Oops. That was a bit wasteful. Should have turned that off before I got out of the tractor. There are some patches in this field that the seeder's just too wide to fully get. Little dots here and there, but I did get the bulk of the field, so I'm happy with the coverage we've got for grass. If it was a crop, I'd maybe not be as happy, but this it's grass, so it's fine. And again, with it being grass, I'm not massively concerned about complete coverage. If I do miss a little bit, then that's fine, because this field won't be ploughed again until late autumn, early winter. Hopefully we get the grass fields done before the ground freezes. I think field 15 is probably going to be our only issue at the end of the year, but that's a long way off yet, so we'll worry about that at the time. It's an 18-foot width, this sprayer. Like I said, plenty big. But it's worth mentioning again, I have a Discord server, the link of which is in the description below this video. So if you haven't done so already, feel free to head over there where you can chat with me one-on-one, or just say hello in the group server. It's where you can also get behind the scenes looks at things I'm doing for live streams and other series, offer game suggestions or suggestions in series, or just have a general chin wag. That is the best place to get hold of me. There's a few other links in the description that you can have a look at as well, for the likes of Twitch and Patreon and Twitter. I don't think I've added the Facebook one in just yet, but there is a Facebook as well. It's at Ghosted Wolf Gaming for anyone who's interested. I admittedly don't spend an awful lot of time on it, but it is there. I go on it every now and again. I spend the bulk of my time on Discord. And if you're liking this video so far, feel free to hit that like button, because it does help a lot. Lets me know that you're enjoying the series as much as I am in making it. And if you haven't done so, feel free to hit the subscribe button. That would definitely help quite a bit. If you hit the bell icon as well, you will be notified about all future uploads and when I go live. I'm currently, at the time of recording this, I have a live stream series running every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. The live stream starts at 9 PM UK time and continues till about 11 PM UK time. That's every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. You can catch that. Alternatively, you can go onto the channel page and watch the archive playlist, which is updated the same day the stream goes out, usually about 20 to 30 minutes after the stream is finished. The episode is there ready to watch in all its entirety. Now, like I said in the last episode, I plan on having this series running daily, so hopefully I'm able to achieve that. I recorded episode 1 maybe about an hour ago, so I'll be recording the rest of this episode obviously, and that will be me 2 episodes ahead, because I haven't edited episode 1 yet. So the plan is to be a couple of episodes ahead, so that if anything does arise that I'm not able to record on a specific day, I am still able to upload. But that's that field finished. Let's get back in cab. Wait for this seeder to fold up. Not the seeder, sprayer. It's a funny looking seeder. We'll leave these gates open for now. We don't have any cows, so no reason to keep them open. In the next episode, we are going to hopefully get enough grass. Well, the grass will hopefully grow in the next episode, and if that is the case, we will plan on when we're going to be cutting the grass, and based on that we'll be able to get sheep. But let's have a look at what the hired worker is doing. It's finished, apparently. It's almost finished. Let's just finish it off. Not much left to do in this corner anyway. I expect that there is other areas that require a bit more attention though. But that's fine. The hired worker's done the bulk of things. There's a big area over there as well, actually. But doing this on camera means that this episode will probably be a little bit longer, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to get the worker onto the next field as well, which I think I'm going to send them over to field 5, which is one of our previously fertilised fields. Tempted to send them over to field 13, which is the big field, but I think I'll leave that for as long as possible. Ploughing is not my strong suit. Ploughing in a straight line is not my strong suit. Looks like he's done a pretty decent job up the edge of the field there. Quite happy with that. Actually, couldn't have done any better myself. Doesn't look like he's missed any at all up here. We'll double check just in case though. I think we'll go for field 5 next, because it's the furthest away from the farm that we currently need ploughed. So we'll send them over there just now. We won't start them, because this is the last episode I'm recording today. So we'll just get them over there so that when I come back to the game I can hire them and push that record button. Got the bit over here that we'll do. Hopefully we can get that in one pass. I'm missing a bit there. Oh, reversing with a plough is not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, I'll do a loop. That would be easier. So I'm hoping, I've got my doubts, but I'm hoping that we'll get this in one pass. To get as far as we can. I'm actually happy with that. I'll take that. I'm not going to bother to come back for that tiniest little slither there. This bit will take at least 2 passes, maybe even a third. It's a bit up ahead. Might get it in 2. We'll try for 2. We'll see how bad it looks with 2. But it's good. We've got 2 fields ploughed in 2 days, which is not particularly good, but we've got 2 fields ploughed, which is definitely a bonus. 1 field cultivated, and 1 field seeded. We are making brilliant progress this time round. Field 47 is a grass field that we may decide to purchase at some point. Don't know when, but at some point we may go for that field too. Again, not going to bother with that. That's a tiny slither there. Not going to bother with that. That's 2 sides of the field done. Heading up this way, there is a bit here. I thought it would be at the edge, but it's not, so it's fair enough. Doesn't mean it is going to be one pass though. Guessing there's no collisions on those telegraph poles. He's done a pretty decent job if there is. Better job than I could do. I'll say that. If there is collisions on that, I could not have done furrows as neat as that. I struggle to do furrows as neat as that without collisions being in the way. Oh, there is a little bit mist up the top here. Tiny little bit, but still. That field in front of us is one of ours as well. Not sure if there's a quicker way to get to it. There may well be. I think I will take the field at that. I'll let that fold up. Eventually. We'll head along this way, see if there's a way over to one of our fields. That's why you should let things fold up first. Hopefully there's a way into this one, if not field 5. It's a very low bush there, we might have been able to go through there. Oh, that's not too bad. Field 5 is that one there, I think. Actually, it's not, it's the one behind it. Oh, no, it is that one. My mistake. So we are just going to park him up here for tonight. We'll go back to the farm. And I think that will do us for today's episode. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button. And if you're new around here and you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And leave me a comment. Say hello. Also, you can check out my Discord. There is beacons flashing everywhere. We'll deal with that later. But thank you all very kindly for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.